Hello, this is Miss Cece coming to you from my home on another topic for women. Today I'm going to be talking to you in regards to a book called Mental Health Through Will Training. It is written by Dr. Thomas Lowe, and the subject matter is going to be simplicity versus complexity in combating fears. Now, when you say fear, I know there is a gamut of things that a person can think about. Often, people will say, I don't have any fears. There's nothing for you to talk to me about fear. Okay. I'll give you some examples. When you get ready to go over a high rise on the freeway and you have a sharp, sharp curve, and you get that sinking feeling in your stomach as you take that turn to come off of that flyover, that little in your stomach, that's fear. Or, say for example, you're scuba diving and you run into a large swarm of starfish and stingrays and things that will cause you to get stung, and you're like, your whole portion of the top of your body goes, and you take a breath. It's like, oh, whoa, that's fear. For those of us that don't swim, we have fear of the water. You have fear of death. You have fear of someone doing something physically to hurt you. You have fears of someone doing something mentally to hurt you. You have fears of the unknown that you have overanalyzed. And it's just exploding. So, everybody has a fear of something. Now, the simplicity of fear. I named some things that are generally things that people do consider very important and that they may at sometimes question or fear the outcome of something like that. Simplicity versus complexity. Simplicity in this book is based on identifying what the person is afraid of. Say, for example, a person is afraid of getting on a trolley car in San Francisco. They say when they get on a trolley car, they get all nervous, they get palpitations, they get dizzy, they get tunnel vision, like everything behind them is black, like they're going to pass out. That type of fear can be mitigated, okay, by repetitive actions on the person that is in fear of that situation in order to become unafraid. And Dr. Lowell talks to one of his patients, and she's afraid of automobiles and she's afraid of elevators. So he is trying to talk to her and say, this is something very, very light and you can overcome it. These things that you've listed are just minor things. I would like to know, what is it that you really are in fear of? Normally, when you have a fear of something like an elevator, our closed spaces, there is something else attached to that fear. Now, often it can be a fear of abandonment. It could be trust issues. It could be fear of failure on something. It can be a fear of not being able to do enough. So all of these fears can be identified. Something small, something simple, rather than something complex. He talks about in this chapter about identifying what is your real true fear. And in order for you to be able to master your real true fear, you're going to need to learn how to identify the feelings, the impulses, and the sensationalist thoughts. So we call this FIST, okay? FIST. Feelings, impulses, sensations, and thoughts. Now, once you're able to identify those things, feelings, I'm feeling like I'm so afraid of the elevator. I'm feeling that. What type of impulse do you get? Do you get an impulse of not want to even get near elevator, that you don't even take the elevator? You immediately, when you come in the building, you look for the stairs because you're not going to get in the elevator. Okay? Sensationalism. Do you sweat? Do you have palpitations? Do you get dizzy? Do you get focused so that the only thing you see behind you is black? And then thoughts. Your thoughts of, oh, I cannot do this. I cannot. You put yourself in a situation where you're not thinking that you can be successful in overcoming a fear. And it's called FIST. Now, once you've identified what it is that you're afraid of, and you are able to say and to be able to identify and put into perspective those feelings, those impulses, the sensation that goes along with them, and your thought afterwards, you will be able to understand where your fear is coming from and being able to engage those feelings, thoughts, sensations, and impulses at the pinnacle point of impact. So, if I'm afraid of being a failure in life, if I'm able to identify that, associate what the feelings are attached to that, my feelings may be feelings of being inept, feelings of not having enough self-esteem, or not having enough. When you feel that way, you feel inept. You feel like you just don't have enough to do it. You don't have enough energy to do it. You can't do it. You keep saying you can't. So, identify the feelings. That's the feelings that I have for failure. Then you say yourself, say, what are the impulses? My impulses could be that I do not reach out to do things that I could succeed at, but because I'm fearful of failure, I don't reach out to do those things. Or to surround myself with people that can assist me in succeeding where I think I'm going to fail. The sensation. I may feel that feeling, that hurt, that feeling of, what I'm afraid of, failure. Sensations could be, I can't talk. I want to open my mouth and nothing's coming out. Or I could just become flush. From your head down to your head, top of your head to your neck, becomes flush. Your ears stop up. Your vision gets blurry. Your hands start to sweat. All of those things are sensations that may occur if you are having the fear of failure. And then the last thing is a thought that goes along with it. The thought that I'm afraid of failure, and my thought is that if I do this, will I be okay? Or will I be able to pull it off? That's a thought. Will I be able to do a task? Because I'm already afraid of being a failure, not being able to do it what I need to do. Your thought that accompanies that is, maybe I'm not good enough. And that's why I'm afraid of failing. So, we call that FIST. All right. So, when you identify your fear and you're able to use the acronym of FIST to identify that fear, it makes it simple rather than complex to identify a fear. Okay? Now, once you've identified your fear, you need to be able to start cultivating in your life the process of allowing that fear to occur, allowing that fear to flow through, and you rechannel yourself to not just look at the fear, but to concentrate on the muscles in your body. Now, Dr. Lowe talks about being able to move outside of your comfort zone, being able to move physically to cause your brain to reboot itself so that your brain will stop thinking about that fear when you're able to move. It can readjust itself to no longer be caught up in this thing that has paralyzed you because you're moving, you're doing something, you're being proactive about something. And that makes your ability to deal with fears a little bit better. Fear. What are you afraid of? Do you have any fears today? Maybe you do and maybe you don't. Maybe they're simple, maybe they're complex. But in all things that we are fearful of, we must understand that you need to identify what you're afraid of before you can work on it. And being fearful and having panic attacks and having mental health issues in regard to your fears is not being taken lightly here on my platform. It's very serious. And I feel your pain. I do. I've been there. I've done that and I've gotten that t-shirt. So I want you to know that if you identify your fear and work on that fear and try to make that fear lose some of its energy or some of its strength by attacking it little piece by little piece. It's not something you're going to be able to do in one day. It's not something you're going to be able to do in a month. It may take you 6 months to a year to go through it. It may take you 10 years of therapy to get through it. And then there is no promise that that inside fear, which you really are afraid of, will go away. But I am here to tell you that there are tools out there to help you cope and help you be more successful in conquering them. Simple versus complex ways to approach fear. If you don't take away anything else from my presentation, ladies, do take this. We all, some form of way, if we're not at the point of having an emotional breakdown, have fears. Some may not bother us, but there are others that plague our life, and they do hold some power over our lives, even though we may not want to realize it or say so. We need to be able to identify them and take them through the FIST process. Attack those fears where they are weakest, where they are at their weakest point, and then follow up with therapy. I guess you guys say, well, why would she talk about therapy? Well, this is a mental health issue. And I think there's nothing wrong with talking about it. I think for so long, people have associated mental illness with something bad. It's something that's true. It's something that's real and relevant to women in America. Well, I'm going to say goodbye. I wish you nothing but peace, prosperity, and love. And like I always say, I'm asking you to hug and kiss that significant other or husband or wife and let them know that you love them. If you have precious children, hug them, squeeze them tight, and let them know how important they are to you and how much you love them. Because we are not promised tomorrow. We must make our memories today so that when we are gone, our legacy of love will live on. So, I'm wishing you all a wonderful day, a blessed day, and I will see you again soon with another subject. I hope I was a little bit helpful with the ideal about fear. If you are in that situation today, you're not alone. Thank you for listening to me, and God bless. Peace out.